As we all know, the Los Angeles Lakers had by far their most disappointing season relative to expectations last season, and this season did not start out much better at all. However, since the trade deadline, the Lakers have absolutely flipped the script, and they've even won a lot of these games without LeBron. They have been a bit inconsistent at times, but despite going into the All-Star break 27-32, they are 11-6 since the All-Star break and are a 500 team. They are currently tied for the 8th seed as of the recording of this video. It sure feels nice to not make a rant video about the Lakers this time. Yeah, I know some people are thinking because of my video about LeBron not being the GOAT, oh, you're here to hate on LeBron again. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. Alright, why have the Lakers played so much better in the second half of the season? One thing is the fact that Russell Westbrook is off the team now. Now, to be clear, I wish Russell Westbrook well. He was just not a good fit with the Lakers, and we all knew that before the trade was even made. However, to put all of the blame on Russell Westbrook for the team's struggles is quite ignorant. I know the LeBron cult will hate to hear this. That cult is not in my target audience anyways. LeBron had his faults too with some poor decision making. This lazy inbound pass with the reigning defensive player of the year right there. Not trying on defense and not closing out games. I understand he's 38 years old, but he has the energy to do this and put up some monstrous stats, so he should be able to put some of that energy in on the defensive end while sacrificing his stats and highlights. That'll be where I stop with the criticism though, because criticizing LeBron is not why I'm making this video, but I do want to keep it real with my audience here. In fact, as long as LeBron is here to contribute to winning basketball, which he actually did do in the latest game, even if it was against a weak opponent, I'm happy to have him back. We knew LeBron and Russell Westbrook would not be a good fit together, but I was also hopeful that as time went on, they'll figure it out eventually. It just might take some time. That just didn't happen at all. You know what though? With how good the Lakers are playing lately, and although LeBron was definitely not good in his return, he was much better in his second game back. See, I do give him credit when it's due. We know he has a tendency to not buy in when he doesn't get his way. However, when the Lakers were winning more than they lost without him, and also seeing him do the ice in my veins celebration with D'Angelo Russell, it has made me hopeful that he will buy in and actually contribute to winning basketball and in the play-in tournament if the Lakers make it, which with 6 games left to play, they're actually in great position to do so, and they're only a game and a half behind the Warriors for the 6th seed. The Warriors are playing 4 of their 5 remaining games at home though, and it's the road where they've struggled badly, so I'm not so sure they can quite avoid the play-in tournament now, but I do like the Lakers' chances of entering the playoffs at the 7th seed a lot. You can tell this team has been much more loose and has had way more fun since they made those moves at the trade deadline. Now, I want to talk about Anthony Davis's resurgence before I get to everyone else. It's just a matter of if he can stay healthy. A healthy Anthony Davis is very much an elite player. Problem is, it's pretty much mission impossible for him to stay healthy for a whole season. Now, no, even at his best, he's still not even remotely comparable to Tim Duncan. Oh, and don't even get me started with calling him Wilt Davis. I get it that was just a joke, but I wouldn't be shocked if anyone will actually take that seriously. Let's please not, okay? You know what though? One thing that finally gives me hope is that since the Lakers paired LeBron with AD, if one went down, the team was screwed. Not the case right now though, and if only the Lakers were even close to this good in the first half of the season, they easily could have home court advantage in the first round. AD has started to become a lot more aggressive again instead of settling for jumpers. I also want to mention the Lakers' secret weapon in Jared Vanderbilt, who has brought a ton of energy on the defensive end. He's also going all out for rebounds, which we don't see a lot in today's game. The hustle that he brings is a perfect example of why you need to watch the games to really know the full story. I think that Jared Vanderbilt's energy is contagious. Jared Vanderbilt's stats definitely won't really impress you, and of course I'm not saying that he's a star, and his stats definitely don't say so, but he's a very valuable player because of his intangibles. The effort and the energy that he brings every game is something I really do think the whole team is feeding off of. Now how about we talk about the return of D'Angelo Russell. I remember being excited when the Lakers drafted him, being heated when the Lakers traded him, as I thought D'Lo is more of a shooting guard and Lonzo Ball being a pass-first point guard made me think he and Lonzo Ball can coexist together. This was before I had any idea of what Kyle Kuzma had in him. Now that D'Lo is back, averaging 18.5 points per game while shooting almost 48% from the field and 40% from three, I'm definitely enjoying this a lot, and knowing LeBron needs shooters around him, he's most certainly a way better fit than Russell Westbrook ever could have been. Sure, I don't think D'Lo will ever end his career with Russell Westbrook's resume, but the fit does matter, and it's showing right now. D'Lo is a little bit injury prone though, but when healthy, he's definitely a contributor. I also think D'Lo has matured a lot since his rookie year. Well, I think that's normal for any human to mature as they get older, but you can tell that he's very happy to be back with the Lakers. Let's also not forget Austin Reaves. Both he and D'Lo are about to secure the bag. Show me the money! Last year, Austin Reaves was one of the bright spots in the disastrous season that the Lakers had because of his hustle and effort, and he's even earned himself a spot in the starting lineup the last few games after scoring 35 against the Magic. I love Alex Caruso, but I did think Reaves may have a higher ceiling than Caruso last year, and statistically, it is looking like I was right so far. And I may be wrong a lot, but there are times when I do get things right, and this is one that is looking like I did get this one right. There are also some things that I can be a little bit critical of, and Darvin Ham, I feel like he's going through some of the growing pains of a first-year head coach. He needs to play Rui Hachimura more. Rui Hachimura is easily a more complete player than Troy Brown. Rui Hachimura has a nice mid-range game. He can play some bully ball. He's a better rebounder, better defender who can guard multiple positions and switch onto everyone. You need to cut Troy Brown's minutes and give more to Rui Hachimura, please. I'm just a fan. You're the head coach, Darvin Ham. You should know better. Also, Malik Beasley kind of does give me Melo vibes from last year, but not even as good as 37-year-old Melo. That's way past his prime, and now he's out of the league a year later. You don't need to shoot the ball every time you touch it. Although he was lights out against the Pelicans, making 7 threes in the first half alone, and did shoot really well in LeBron's return against the Bulls, more often than not, he seems to have the confidence of Kobe, but tends to be streaky like Marcus Smart. I actually do think that Darvin Ham could be a really good head coach one day, but he's definitely going through growing pains. There's no question about that, and I was really starting to wonder if he's the right guy when this happened. I don't know why you didn't call timeout on this play when you had 2 left. Some of his decisions are definitely questionable, but I'll still be patient with him as he is a first-year head coach. I do think, though, that if Frank Vogel was given this roster a year ago, he'd still be the head coach, but I guess it just is what it is right now. Now, even though LeBron is back, and contrary to what some of you think, I'm happy to have him back, as I said before, as long as he's buying in and contributing to winning basketball, which I'm hopeful that he will since the Lakers have played really well without him. Does it change my mind about anything I said in my video about why he's not the GOAT? No, but as long as he's buying in and contributing to winning basketball, I'm more than happy to have him back, and I'm absolutely rooting for him all the way, as I have to as a Lakers fan because the Lakers obviously need him to play well in order for them to play well. Still though, I do think that this offense needs to run through Anthony Davis. Again, this is not hate towards LeBron, just this is what worked 3 years ago when the Lakers won the championship. Yeah, LeBron may have been the floor general and advanced stats may have favored him. You can say he was more of a leader that year than AD was, but AD was the go-to guy, and I would probably go as far as saying that AD was the better player, even though LeBron was closer to winning MVP that year. AD led the team in points, rebounds, blocks, and steals, and was a defensive player of the year runner-up. LeBron did deserve his finals MVP though, I will say that, but for much of the season, AD was the better player. Now that LeBron's 38 though, and he clearly has lost a step, don't just read the stats and watch the games. This is even more of a reason for LeBron to be the primary playmaker and for AD to be the go-to guy. I think now if the Lakers are fully healthy, they may actually be capable of making a deep playoff run, even though LeBron's not a good defender anymore at this stage of his career. They still have Anthony Davis, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, and also Dennis Schroeder. I remember 2 years ago in Schroeder's first day with the Lakers, I really liked the ball pressure that he applied, and we're still seeing that from him now. Sure, he is still an inefficient ball pounder at times on offense and is definitely best suited for coming off the bench. In fact, he should have won 6th Man of the Year over Montrezl Harrell 3 years ago because he actually played both sides of the ball. I still don't look at the Lakers as title favorites, but they're fortunate that this is the worst the Western Conference has been in over 2 decades, which does give them a chance despite how terribly the season started. If they win the finals, will it make me change my mind about LeBron not being the GOAT? Probably not, but I don't care. I care more about my team winning than anyone's individual legacy. If the Lakers do make the playoffs as the 7th seed, I would actually like to see the Kings catch the Grizzlies. Congrats, Kings fans, on the playoff drought ending, by the way, but I would prefer the Kings over the Grizzlies because they're inexperienced. Ja Morant is back for the Grizzlies, and hey, we can revive the early 2000s rivalry going back to my early days of watching basketball. Now, do I think we owe Rob Pelinka an apology? I'm still torn on that because the damage from the 2021 offseason has already been done, but so far it does look like he's making a nice recovery. You can let me know in the comments if you think we owe him an apology. I am at least glad that LeBron had zero involvement in any of the moves he made at the trade deadline. Perhaps Pelinka lowballing for Kyrie Irving was Pelinka's way of telling LeBron, I'm the GM, not you, so I'll offer for Kyrie, but not actually try to get him. I don't actually know that, but it could be, and I'm beyond happy that the Lakers never got Kyrie. Anyone who's spoken to me enough over the last year should know I never wanted the Lakers to have anything to do with Kyrie, and it looks like I was right about that too. Look how much the Mavs have sucked since Kyrie has arrived, and look how well the Lakers have played in the second half of the season. Kyrie is a great talent on offense, however, he's too much of a diva, and I want nothing to do with the unwanted drama that he would bring. I'm not Dory from Finding Nemo, so yes, I remember him and LeBron winning a championship together 7 years ago. Well, that was 7 years ago. If last year's Lakers didn't prove that talent alone doesn't mean everything, I don't know who or what will. Or a team that proved this in a good way, the 2004 Pistons. The Lakers did what they should have done much earlier, and at least it's paying off now. If only they constructed the roster the way it is now earlier, they could have actually had home court advantage in the first round. You know what else? This was before the season, but bringing back Dennis Schroeder was a great move for the Lakers defense, and they sure dodged a bullet when he turned down $84 million. That and how the Celtics made a run to the finals after they dumped him may have been some humble pie for Dennis Schroeder. Also, unlike 2 seasons ago, COVID protocols are non-existent now. At least it feels that way, and he had to enter health and safety protocols twice 2 seasons ago. Dennis Schroeder still does have his weaknesses though, but I do still think that he's been more of a plus than a liability for this team, so it is good to have him back, and not at nearly the price that the Lakers initially offered him for. So that's all I have for this video. If you did enjoy this video, if you could please consider liking the video, that really helps out. If you could please consider subscribing and turning on notifications to never miss another video. Welcome to the team. Links to my social media are down below. Here are 2 videos up above, my last upload and what YouTube suggests. If you would like to click either of those, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Peace. Go Lakers.